to the Bleeding Burgundy podcast, a Washington football podcast by fans for fans. With your hosts, Jesse Martin.
You want to play rough? Okay. Say hello to my little friend.
John Taylor.
Quiet, numbskulls, I'm broadcasting.
And Keith Gray.
The King, your majesty.
And now here's your host, Jesse Martin.
What is going on? Welcome to the Bleeding Burgundy podcast. It is Victory Monday, October 4th, as the Washington football team just defeated the Atlanta Falcons 34-30. Here with me, as always, are my co-hosts, Keith Gray and John Taman. John, how are you doing?
I'm great. I love Victory Monday. I know a lot of people hate Victory Monday, apparently, but I love it. I think it feels fun.
Keith, what's going on, my man? How you doing?
Fantastic, great, wonderful. Let's keep it going.
Great, wonderful. Yeah. And we have a special guest, a recurring guest.
Fuck out of here.
Hey, he's special. He's special. He's a special guy all the way from
this whole
across
episode.
You sound like you're going to be a dick this whole episode. Andy Burrows. Andy, what is going on, man? From the DC Tweet Team podcast. How you doing, buddy?
I am good, my friend. I'm good. Thank you for asking me back on. Always a pleasure to come and chop it up with you, and even better on a Victory Monday.
Victory Monday. Well,
hey, how did it go with Jesse joining your show, Andy?
What's that, bro?
Nothing. Just being a dick.
I didn't join his show. I couldn't. I was grilling for my parents. He asked me to. Yeah, he asked me to.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I'll
let you slide since you said it was for your parents.
Yeah, it was for my parents. I
right.
couldn't. I didn't have my stuff. All right, let's get back to business. We won. Hey, a win is a win.
Yep, a win is a win.
You know, we need it. We're pretty much where we thought we would be at the beginning of the season. Most people figured we'd be 2-2. We are 2-2, but things just doesn't seem like it's going right for this defense. Still. But first, we want to talk about some injuries. John Bostic, everybody's favorite player, unfortunately, is out for the year. It seems like he's got a torn pec. We're going to see a lot more of Khalik Hudson, maybe some David Mayo. We got Brandon Sheriff. He's out for at least a couple of weeks with a sprained MCL. Torrey McTyer, I think, is a bigger loss than maybe others. He's going to be out for the season with, I guess, got a torn ACL.
I think it's ACL.
So yeah, we got a little bit banged up against the Falcons yesterday. You know, we saw Gibson get, I don't know if it was the wind knocked out of him or maybe got some bruised ribs or something. Terry seemed to get hobbled a little after a big hit. We'll start with Andy. What did we learn from this performance? Just your opening thoughts.
We learned that our offense is now the predominant side of the ball for the Washington football team, and they're going to have to keep doing that from what we've seen from the first 4 games. There's no point beating around the bush. No one thought that us 3 guys were going to be sitting here talking about our offense being the ones that are dominant and are winning us games. And, we all thought we'd be talking about, hey, the defense are winning us games. We're doing this, and this. But hey, here we are. We're 2-2. We all know the issues we've got. We said yesterday on our show that the offense really, really balled out yesterday. Like you said there, Antonio Gibson, Terry McCullough, JD McKissick, Taylor Heineke, when he had to scramble, really, really impressed with them guys. But let's not hide the fact that the defensive side of the ball are terrible. We've gone from this elite, quote unquote, defense to really bad. And that's not me. I got killed on Twitter yesterday for saying, you're just shitting on this team. I don't like to see these negative comments. That's not negative. That's just
whatever.
Yeah, fake fan. But to me, that's just honest. And if you're like, I kind of, we went back, say if I went back a year when Keith, when he was the troll Keith, and he used to say, you rah-rah fans. I'm now kind of seeing that in role reversal, because I'm seeing people reaching to me on Twitter yesterday going, Andy, you're just bashing the team. We won. I'm like, hey, I'm pleased
Whatever.
we won on the offensive side of the ball.
Yes.
But I'm not.
We got problems.
We got problems. I'm not an idiot. I can see how bad. And if I can see it, you guys can see it. I just pray to God that Jack Del Rio can see it. And come next Sunday, we can sort this shit out. Because right now, it's terrible.
Yeah,
They're
no
doing
doubt.
shit that doesn't make any sense.
Yeah. Keith, what'd you take from yesterday's performance?
The same as every other week. We don't know what team we're going to get. It looks like, again, like Andy had stated, we're rooting for the offensive side now, which seems to have been improved from last year, which is crazy to say considering that, the guy Taylor, who I've pretty much trashed a whole season, or off season, saying that this guy is not starter capable. Yet every game he's proven me wrong. I mean, yeah, the guy's made mistakes, but ultimately overall, he's been a pretty good NFL QB1 so far, in my opinion. So yeah, I mean, the takeaway is I think that we need to respect our offense a little bit more and continue to hammer the defense. Although I did feel like that there were at points some defensive players that have played and stood out a little bit better than they have the first 3 weeks. Cole Holcomb being one of them.
Yeah, he had a decent game yesterday.
Yeah, so
he was visible. That's what he was. He was making plays where you could see him making a play.
And so I think that Holcomb can definitely improve, but we were going nowhere with Bostic, as we saw during this game as well. And
come on, you didn't like that attempted tackle he made down there on the last touchdown for the Falcons? Come on.
Listen,
I mean, dude,
that was terrible.
He hit that guy in all 3 zones. He started at the shoulder, he fell down to his waist, and by the time he fell off, he was down to his ankles.
Yeah.
You
so
can't do it any better.
So I think as a whole, Jesse, to answer your question,
I
think as a whole, Jesse, to answer your question is we don't know what team we're going to get from a week to week.
Yeah, no, fair enough.
I've learned.
Fair enough. Jesse, I mean, John, I don't know why your name
Jesse?
is your
Oh
name.
my God, there's 2 of them.
I thought that I learned. No, that's mean.
You logged in on my account. It's probably what you did.
No, you know what? I learned everything that you guys learned, but I think that we knew those kinds of things in the first place. I think we're pretty set on what team is going to show up. It's just a matter of the opponent. Yesterday and against the Giants, we scored 30 points. The last time we scored 30 points 2 in a row, you'd have to go back multiple seasons to say,
2012.
Well, yeah, it's been a long time because we would typically get 30 points once a year for the last 3 or 4 years.
Yeah.
So 2 30 points and a win. That's what I'm looking at. I've been saying that in the preseason and all the way up. If we can get between 27 to 30 points, we should win a lot of games because we'll ride on our defense. Our defense fucking stinks, but my prophecy remains true. So there's things they're doing that I don't understand. What I learned is Jack Del Rio is coaching scared. He's trying stupid shit, and nothing is more frustrating than doing things that don't work after you've seen something that works. I asked you guys before we turned on the microphones. Jesse, did you turn on the Zoom? Because I didn't see a thing. But last year, they had we had Chase Young lining up on the left tackle. This year, we got him lining up on the right tackle. They have switched those two, and we're getting absolutely nothing. So what the fuck? Why fix what the fuck wasn't broken?
Yeah,
that's what I learned.
I mean,
I learned they don't know how to do that.
We had him and Sweat lined up on the same side as well a lot yesterday. I know.
I've seen him do that a couple of times.
You're looking, thinking, "Wow, okay, this is interesting," and that still didn't work.
That was a change. So I do think they tried a little bit more. You could tell that Del Rio was trying some different stuff, but I'm getting tired of seeing just when we do blitz, why just send one? Why don't you send 2?
Yeah, they get picked right up.
What I've learned is we might be able to beat bad teams when we play them. And when I say might, the Giants and the Falcons are pretty much the bottom barrel teams, and we barely beat them. A lot of that has to do with our defense. But I'm still not sold on Heineke, as a lot of people are. I think he's got some deficiencies that as we saw last week, when he plays good teams and good defenses, they hone in on those deficiencies. Listen, he had a great game, man, and we're going to get to Heineke in just a moment. But he had some passes that, man, oh man, if we were playing a different defense, that wouldn't fly. That would not fly.
Those are going to happen.
Interceptions.
He still doesn't have a whole lot of experience.
But what I'm saying, I'm talking about his weak arm. He's got the weakest arm in the league, and you can tell on multiple passes. Like I said, we're going to get to Heineke in a minute, but as a whole, it's going to be a long season. I think next week is probably the best chance we have to win a game against the Saints before we go on a 8 or 9 game stretch where I don't think we have a chance in hell to win, unfortunately.
You are the most optimistic motherfucker I've ever heard.
Listen, man,
It'd be the most
I'm
Washington
sorry.
thing ever, though. I bet you would do.
He's worse than I am.
I wouldn't even cross the street with you. He'd be like, "We're never gonna make it. That bus is gonna hit us.
That car's gonna hit us."
I call it like I see it on the field, and I just don't see any wins coming out of here. I don't.
Second quarter, my man was selling his season tickets.
Oh yeah.
I
Oh
think when
shit.
you're
I was
talking
so
about
pissed off.
A stretch with the Chiefs and the Packers and the Seahawks. I don't think it's that bad to say, okay, we're not going to beat any of them. We're not ready for that level yet. We're just not. And I don't think we should have thought we were. But you never know.
It's
bounces the wrong way one time. We catch a kickoff that goes up in the wind.
That's true. But we could wind up giving up 50 points to, players like Aaron Rodgers and Pat Mahomes. And if something, but maybe possibly with some changes on the defensive side of the ball, especially at linebacker, maybe one of these other linebackers will be able to cover half the time instead of none of the time. Who knows?
Have a prediction. I would suggest to David Mayo, if you change your name to David Miracle Whip, Keith would instantly become a fan.
I'd buy the jersey.
You get the jersey.
I was just jersey right away.
Get the jersey right away. All right, so let's move on to Taylor Heineke and his performance yesterday. And listen, I'm not going to take anything away from his performance. It was gutsy. It was ballsy. And guess what? If it wasn't for McLaurin, we probably wouldn't have won the game. But
you can say that in any game about anything.
I was going to say there was a lot of plays that happened.
Although that second touchdown he caught should never have been a
that run back, if that had never happened, we would have been there.
But look, Taylor Heineke, he did what we wanted him to do last week. He ran with the ball. So you saw some progressions, and he fixed some mistakes. And that's one good thing about Taylor Heineke is that he's going to fix his mistakes.
He needs to know where those sticks are, though, before he slides. My man was sliding way super early.
But, hey, he should have gave Robert Griffin III some lessons way back when, because he was
you're taking a shot at my boy?
I'm sorry.
Fuck Kirk Cousins. How about that?
He was sliding like 20 yards on that damn field turf right there. Keith, I'm going to start with you. Kind of go ahead, grade over, give an overall grade for what you saw from Heineke yesterday.
I do a B+, A-.
Okay.
Listen.
What's the difference?
I don't know. It just sounded like he shouldn't get
better on the
A-
is better on a report card.
What's the difference? Yeah, no, I'd stick to shut up. I'd stick to a B, B+, A-. I mean, listen, the guy commanded the whole game. There were definitely some, floater passes, which he seems to do quite a lot, which has not gotten fixed yet, but
I'm not sure if he can fix them just because of his arm strength,
and that's fair.
Yeah.
That's fair. I'm no quarterback coach, so I have no idea. All I know is it happens, and I'm going to call it, and see it and be like, damn. But at the end of the day, the guy made plays that needed to be made. This is his second game winning,
that last
game.
Drive, man. Oof,
yeah.
That was so good.
He commands, and again, to go back to that last play, I asked the question this morning, was that because hey, other people might have opinions. Apparently that was his fourth or fifth, or Ron Rivera said it was his fifth read. I mean, you can see it because there's a video.
I saw that video. Is awesome.
You talking about the touchdown to McKissick?
Absolutely. Yeah.
That was the last chance.
Yeah, correct. And my question out there to Twitter was, was that a design play, or was that, Taylor Heineke? And, obviously it's not going to be a design play, because you never expect to have that much time in the pocket to be able to go to your fifth read in the first place. So that was definitely
McKissick was in there. McKissick was in there blocking.
That's what I was going to say. Then he ran off his block. And he was wide open, and it was just a perfect opportunity. And it was just a great heads up from Heineke, something that we haven't seen from quarterbacks in a while. That's so Listen, this guy, like I said, he hasn't warranted all the trash that I've put on him as of yet. Of course, there's a lot of learning opportunities, but I mean, shit, we're going into week 5, and we're 2-2. So, this situation, could be a lot worse. I'm like you, Jesse, looking ahead. I'm not very optimistic at all whatsoever. However, I'm going to keep it to a week-to-week basis because I feel that, we're going to get a different team based upon the team that we're playing every single week. Sure. It's not going to be a consistent thing.
John?
So a B+ is what you said?
Yeah, B+.
All right. I'm going to go ahead, Andy. I'll go after Andy.
All right.
He's been sitting there trying to jump in.
Hey, I'm listening to you guys. Hey,
you got to jump in.
It's good to listen.
Grade this performance.
Heineke, I'm with Keith. I'm with B+ around that area. The problem you've got is with Heineke, he's having a job interview in the NFL while doing the job. You know what I mean? Yeah. He will want to end up on a team somewhere, whether that's in Washington or, he hasn't had any of like the previous quarterbacks that we've had in the past. They've had previous teams and they can go, okay, we can look back at this, and this. Heineke hasn't got that. He's like, hey, I'm doing this as I go. And to be honest to the guy, he's giving us more excitement than I've had with Alex Smith, Dwayne Haskins.
No doubt about that. Yeah.
All of them, and he's out there. At least I can see what I always want to see from my quarterback is someone that can make shit happen. Look at that play yesterday to JD McKissick. He made that. And like Keith said, there is a video going around. You can see him going through his reads, but you see JD waving at him. That is all Heineke. Ron said it himself. He's made that play himself. That's
heads up play on McKissick too.
McKissick's
pulling off his block.
Yeah, McKissick's used his brain. Heineke's used his brain. They've gone, hey, we're going to make something happen here. So I'm going to give the guy some kudos, man, because, it must be so hard because he's probably making plays and he's thinking, right, can we please just like our defense make a fucking stop now? And he's under constant pressure. There's not a game where we've gone, you know what, we're 2 scores up, we're 3 scores up here, like other NFL teams have. This poor guy is having to come down. There's 20 seconds to go. There's 30 seconds to go. He's having to make something happen. And at the moment, he's getting away with it because he's making great plays. A week down the line, 2 weeks down the line, there may be 30 seconds left in the game and he's going to throw a pick. We're all going to go absolutely ape shit on Twitter going, you've just cost us the game. It is going to happen because it's the nature. It's a young guy and it's the nature of what he is and what is going. And to be honest, it sums up Washington. You know what I mean? Sure. It sums us up for how many years now that we're having to rely on this guy. And let's be honest, at the moment, he's bailing us out the shit. So I can't dig him out. Yep, he could maybe look where the sticks are and not dive with his head. Again, that's something this morning or tomorrow when they got in the practice field, they can go, hey, Taylor, here's the sticks. This is what we want you to do. I'm hoping that's where our coaches are now going to help him. I'm hoping our coaches are going to do more with him than Jack Del Rio is doing with our fucking defense, because he's the one that needs a rocket up his ass, not on the offensive side of the ball. So yeah, Heineke, he's given me more hope than any quarterback probably has since RG3, and that's a huge statement.
So what's your grade?
B+. I'm with Keith. I'd say B+, A-.
Okay, B+.
I'm with him. I'm giving the guy, give him his dues.
I'm going to disagree with both of you and say B+.
John, before you give your expert analysis, so one of the things that just popped in my head too that I forgot to mention was the fact that what I like about Taylor is he's not just set on one guy too when he's throwing the ball.
Mm-hmm.
Sure. He
feeds the rock. He feeds the rock to damn near the whole offensive team, besides the line, obviously, but you get my point. But that ball goes around. So it's definitely team environment, what I see, and they're rallying behind him for sure.
I think what you see with that, and this is part of my B+, is you're getting good offensive line play. You're getting good protection for him. He's got the time to make the reads, and he knows enough of the offense. He's been in this offense for a while now. He knows it very well, and he does. He makes his reads. He finds that third and fourth option, or he finds McKissick on the outlet like that. My B+ more stems from the fact that he's very aware of what's going on the field. Very rarely do you see him throw that oh fuck, I want that one back interception. Right? We didn't see any turnovers yesterday, but when he doesn't throw that ball,
there should have been
shouldas and wouldas, and another. It doesn't make a difference. I'm like, we should have lost, but we didn't. So any pass that doesn't get picked off and gets caught, hey, good throw as far as I'm concerned, right? There's things he can work on that's better, and that's what they sit in film to do. So
I think where he might get find out, John, is them little floaty passes that he does. I reckon that teams like the Saints, the Bucks.
Oh, they're watching it.
That's what I was going to say. It's going to be on film.
Yeah, their corners, their corners and their linebackers are probably thinking, "Oh my god!" You know the look he's going to give you, and you know when that little and we can also when he does that, we were watching the TV.
It's all about timing.
You know, that McLaurin touchdown was all McLaurin, thankfully.
Yeah. Well, that was a bad throw. That was a rookie shit throw. But I'm thinking more like the crossing route that he threw that was damn near picked off over on the sidelines. He threw to McLaurin. But even freaking Mark Sanchez pointed it out on the television. He doesn't recognize the read fast enough. He doesn't trust it fast enough. He doesn't throw it when the guy breaks. He throws delays. He waits. It's like playing backyard football. You wait till the dude's open, then you throw it. So they're going to have to work with him on film of this. The good thing is that we probably have a decent quarterbacks coach. Fitzpatrick is smart enough to be able to show him those kinds of things, and he can grow from it. Next week will be a test. You know, the Saints depends on which Jameis shows up. Really,
that's true. So you got a B+.
I'm like I said, I'm not going with these two guys in their lofty. I'm a B+.
Yeah. Look, I think Heineke's deficiencies, a lot of them you can kind of work around. He can work around with some time and
takes a bad picture
and a little experience. One of the things that you can't, I don't think he's going to be able to fix is his arm strength. But like I said, I think he can, if he plays smart with the ball, he could get around that and maybe develop into a solid starter in this league. I'm giving him a B- overall. I think there could have been about 4 or 5 balls that could have, should have, but wasn't picked off. I think if we played a stronger defense, like I said earlier, I don't think the outcome of the game would have been the same. And teams are looking. He's got film out now, so I'm very interested to see. We saw what happened against the Bills. They've got a great defense.
They're a Super Bowl contender.
Yeah, absolutely. So
they really are.
These upcoming weeks are going to say a lot that Taylor Heinicke.
Dude, they toyed with the Texans yesterday like they were mice.
Oh God, that was crazy, crazy. But hey, we're 1+. We have scored more on the Bills than anybody else has, through the first quarter of the season. So
good old moral victory.
you might put that in the win column right there.
Wednesday parade.
But yeah, if he can, just work on his decision making, work on some ball placement, and maybe who knows what's going to happen with him. Sure. He's sure as hell. He's sure as hell. It's fun to watch. That's for sure. He kind of reminds me a little bit of Brett Favre. He's got a little gunslinger in him.
But we all said that about Fitzpatrick, Jesse. When he come in at the start of the season, everyone went, well, this is going to be fun to watch. We're getting exactly the same with Heinicke that we would have with Fitzpatrick.
You're probably
a little bit more mobility, I think.
A little bit more mobility.
Possibly.
But he's giving us a chance down the field. Terry, now Curtis Samuel's back in as well. We saw him make some great plays yesterday. He's a younger version of what we would have had.
And to be fair, I don't think with Fitzpatrick was going to be fun at all. I'll be honest.
Mm-hmm.
I'm more excited. I'm more excited about Heinicke than I am Fitzpatrick because Heinicke, you don't know what you're getting, and now we're finding out, right? Fitzpatrick, you knew that you were getting a journeyman. You knew that you were getting a guy that was at the end of his career. And to be quite honest, the way that he played before he got injured was kind of what I expected. So when he got hurt,
for 7 plays.
Yeah, I'm tired of people. Stop.
He was not playing good.
Trying to take 1 quarter of play and compare to what fucking Heinicke. That's bullshit. Stop that shit. No, that is dumb. That's dumb. You cannot.
And I even said when he got hurt, I wasn't jumping up and down, but I was more excited.
I ain't buying that.
He was in the stadium going high.
Did you watch him before? Did you watch him before? Like everyone hypes him up over that 1 touchdown where they almost ripped his damn head off. The dude just launches it in the air. The receiver goes and gets it. This is when he was in.
Okay, that's 1 play, man. That's
I understand.
1 play. You cannot compare.
How he is, though.
You cannot compare
Did you see
Everyone
what
liked
touchdown
the
pass
man
that
because he
Heineke
had
threw
a beard
yesterday?
and he was
He threw one a
cool.
prayer.
He's not a good football player.
You cannot
And
compare. You cannot
we
compare.
were wasting our time with him in the first
Stop,
place. So
stop,
we were wasting
stop.
our time in the
Come on.
first place.
Uh-uh.
Fitzpatrick is awful. I'm
Andy's
glad
throwing a challenge
Heineke is
flag.
in because now we
calling
get to see
timeout.
what we're getting out of Heineke. Fitzpatrick sucks.
I would put money on you'd get probably better decision making out of Fitzpatrick than you do Heineke, and better arm. The only thing Heineke has over Fitzpatrick is a little bit more mobility. That's it. I'd put money on that. I'd put money on that.
Since we're picking guys while they're down, why don't we, hey, John Bostic.
Heineke's
Nice to
played
have
him
seen you,
more.
buddy.
Heineke's played him more.
Fitzpatrick was awful in preseason too. Stop it.
Not really.
Yes, he
Not
was.
really.
We didn't score.
I don't think it matters now.
We didn't score,
I
but
think
remember
he's not
that
getting
doesn't
the
matter
job
in
back unless
preseason.
Heineke gets
But
hurt.
that shit was translating.
Okay.
But go ahead.
All right.
Have you guys had some like issues going on recently that I've missed? You know what I mean? Do you three need some love or something here?
Let's
No,
go.
this is fun.
We just don't always agree. I mean, I'm an
I'm
RG3
joking.
guy. He's a
That's how
Kirk
we do
Cousins
it.
guy. That's the way it's going to be.
Hold on.
He
Neither
likes
one of
the-
them have
Hold
figured out
on.
that neither one of those
Hold
guys
on.
are here
He
anymore.
likes the
on.
beautiful. He likes the
Hold
beautiful
on.
blonde, blue eye guys. It's just the way it is.
Like,
and then
When did
now
I ever say I was a fucking Kirk Cousins guy?
you love
Hold on.
Kirk Cousins.
I
ain't
I've
never heard
only
you
said
say
he was a
anything
better
negative about him.
quarterback than RG3. That's all I've said. I'm not.
Jesse,
a Kirk Cousins
would
guy.
you, if you were offered Kirk Cousins tomorrow over Taylor Heineke, would you take him back?
Oh,
I would
definitely.
take him back.
Yeah, absolutely.
Would you?
I mean,
Yeah, I
yeah.
would.
Someone asked me that
without-
question. Someone asked me.
without
Sorry,
a
yeah,
doubt.
Someone asked me
Yeah.
that
Great
question.
question.
I
would
would
is
take
that
him
like
back.
is that like on your celebrity fuck list? Is that what that's all about? Talking about like shit like that? If you
So, John, it only counts if you laminate it.
right. Yes, that's true.
Yeah, no, right now Kirk Cousins is playing really good football right now. I mean,
Kirk Cousins has always played good football for the most part. His problem is finishing games,
yeah,
winning
that's
when
true.
it matters.
That's true.
You know, but
Yesterday
at
was
the
a
end of the
weird
day,
game.
the guy brings NFL experience. Obviously, he played well for Washington when he was here.
Some
He
guy
just
on
couldn't-
the
He
some
could
guy
close
on the
out games
radio.
was his issue.
Some guy on the radio said I was listening to B. Mitch and Finley on the way home from work, and some guy on the radio was talking about Kirk Cousins, and he said he was tired of all the interceptions that he has thrown. So B. Mitch pulled up the his stat sheet this year, and he's thrown one pick this year. So he's taking care of the ball, and that was like that last year. I think he threw like 30 some interceptions or 30 some touchdowns and 9 interceptions last year. So he's definitely been playing well.
My ex-wife has some nice tits at one time. Just wanted to put that out there.
All right, let's move on. Let's move on to this defense. And god damn, what the fuck, dude? It's like 59% third downs. They're giving up 59%. And what is that? What is that close
Almost
to?
60%.
Almost 60%.
Almost 60%.
My math lessons have been rubbing off on you guys. I'm glad.
Thank God.
They this secondary, and this is where I put more blame on the players than I do the coaches, because I don't think the players are getting the scheme whatsoever. Because we've seen this every fucking game. Another wide open fucking receiver in the end zone. Keith,
They
I'll
don't even
start
know
with-
Cordarrelle Patterson's name out there.
Yeah, Keith, I'll start with you. What do you make of this shit, man? Like,
Other than we make Cordell Patterson a Hall of Famer with 3
Yeah.
touchdowns in the game. I mean,
He's been playing well anyway, coming into the game. But
yeah,
still.
well, I mean, he was burning guys like Kendall Fuller. So I don't, listen, I don't know what to make of this. I mean, I'm hearing people saying that Fuller is, playing in a different spot. I don't really know. I don't pay attention to this, type of stuff. But at the end of the day, these big plays are happening. Yeah, I don't pay attention to football.
I'm just gonna say it anyway.
I'm just watching TV, and wherever the little guys go on the TV is
I'm just
where
kidding.
my
Put it on
eyes
the
go.
couch.
I don't know shit about this, but let me
Right.
tell you what I think.
Right. I have
That's gonna be
no
my
idea
ne-
what I'm
That's
talking
going to be my
about
next
at this
tattoo, I
point.
think.
Absolutely. I mean, that's just the way to do it.
Absolutely.
No, I don't know. I don't know, man. I just I
it's
don't
like-
know.
You don't even know where to begin with this
I
thing.
don't have answers.
It is. I
We
don't
don't
think.
seem to learn lessons, though, guys. That's my main issue. We don't seem to learn lessons. You look at let's go.
We've
let's go to
outsmarted
the
ourselves.
let's go to the Giants game. Let's go to the Bills game. Third downs. You think, okay, let's learn from the mistakes we made last week. Let's correct these. Look at yesterday. They were 3rd and 14, 3rd and 15. Everyone to a man, you guys, us, me, everyone went, they're going to get this first down.
Yeah.
And they didn't just get it, they got the first down and then another 5 yards on top of that.
Sure.
And we're all sitting there going, how have we not sat down in the week, as they do? We all watch blimmin' the NFL Network and all these documentaries they put out. We know they sit down and watch film. What did the Washington football team defense watch? What do they see that go, okay, in anything in life, you have to learn a lesson. You have to learn from, I coached soccer and played soccer for years. Keith watches his son go and play football. If he makes a mistake, Keith's going to say to him, okay, boy, you've done this today. Next week, just try and do this. Maybe
which I've done.
And how old's your kid? Exactly.
10.
He's 10 years old, and we can't.
And I will say to back you up on that, he hasn't made that the same mistake. And by no means am I an offensive line guru.
No, but
there is obvious things that you do and obvious things that you don't do. It's do you have the ability? Do you have the ability to correct it? And that's where I think our problem is we have guys that do not have the ability. They're watching it on film. They're being told multiple, every single week, but they don't have the ability to do what needs to be done. And it's just going to keep happening.
They're getting put in situations where whether or not I disagree. The players can only do what the coaches tell them to do. All right. So
but they're not. It doesn't seem like they're telling them.
I'm going to ask.
Like they're doing it. They're not doing it.
I'm going to ask. I'm going to ask again. Why on earth do we have? Why have we switched our defensive ends? Why we had so much success last year and they swapped
something different?
They have the ability,
and it ain't working.
Themselves.
It's 4 weeks. It hasn't worked. Keith, have you ever done anything for a straight month and it never worked and thought to yourself, well, maybe if I try it for the next month?
Yeah.
Fuck no.
Caucasian Sasquatch.
Do something. Well, it worked at least twice when I was playing football.
True.
So this is where I'm starting to get really aggravated. All right. Is that they're not putting themselves, I think, in position to be able to do anything. Chase Young, everybody's giving him all kinds of hell. He's playing from the right side, which when you're a pass rusher, even as a tackle, it's a wholly different thing. It's a different angle. It's a different set of how you're going to do your feet. He's a second-year player. Why are you trying to put him around there? Why don't you have him rushing the fucking blind side of the quarterback in the first place? These are the things that I want to know about. You can tell me, you can't tell me he's a bad player. You can't tell me that Montez Sweat is a bad player, but they're not able to do things because they're just not doing. I mean, it's not Chase Young that's only teaching himself one move. You understand? Yeah, they can.
I don't think Chase can cut inside. He's not doing it. Because Chase is running around the quarterback. He's not cutting inside.
That's not done as a personal choice. But see, that's not done. That's what he's being taught. He's on a whole other side of the freaking football now. When he was coming against left tackles, dude, we saw him run one play at left tackle against the Patriots in preseason, and he smashed Cam Newton and caused a fumble. One time. And
have we done analysis,
it seems like he's been at the ref.
Have we done analysis
all
on
I keep saying is
line? And that's why maybe he got switched because they were putting him on the weaker guy. I don't know. I'm just asking.
The left tackle. Yeah, I think you should have your dominant pass rusher coming at the blind side of the quarterback 100% of the time. And
no matter who's guarding him.
Because he's your dominant pass rusher. I don't care who's guarding him. You better go out there and win. That's a one-on-one fight. Cornerbacks, wide receivers. That's a one-on-one fight. Tackles and defensive ends, one-on-one fight. Go win.
They haven't been winning.
They haven't been winning. But that's one of the reasons why I think
that's why to me I'm putting more on the players themselves. I think they are putting themselves more out of position. Now listen, all the blame don't go on the players. No, John, you do have a point. There's something going on. There's a disconnect somewhere somehow. I don't think the players are grasping the scheme. I've heard some people say that I'm talking about reporter. I think John Keim went and said that this scheme is very complex. But you see people players out of positions, out of their lanes, out of their gaps all the time. And that doesn't necessarily,
but that's coaching. Lack of discipline is coaching.
Well, no, I'm talking about after the play starts. I don't chalk that all the way up to coaching. No, I mean,
when you're on a
these guys
when you're on a third
adults.
and long though, when you're on a third and long and we're all sitting back in zone and you're thinking, oh fucking here we go, this is easy. I'm no football coach.
I don't think we have any other corners besides William Jackson III that can play man. I'm sorry, Fuller's he's past his prime. I've come to realize that.
Past prime.
I do not think he can do man, and that's why they're not running man, because they think he's going to get burned. And we've seen.
But then every team in the NFL, every team now we come up against, it's third and long. We know the Washington football team. We're going to play this crap zone that they do. There's going to be there's going to be a humongous hole in the middle of the field. Let's just drop the ball down there.
That's on our shitty linebacker core, and that's.
But then so far we've gone from we've gone from our safeties to our linebacker core. Is it? I agree with what Keith just says. Is it just the fact that they're not good enough to do it?
No, and I agree. That is
the linebacker core. Yeah, they're
too.
not. Bostic is not.
I think we put too much hype as fans. It's our problem too. We put too much on this. This defense wasn't that good last year. We just got a mirage in shitty fucking teams and quarterbacks that we played last year. That's where their stats
we played
came
a lot
from.
of QB2s.
We played a lot of QB2s and QB3s. Yeah. We played a lot of crappy quarterbacks last year. When we played good times last year, we got fucking killed. We got killed.
Kind of crappy quarterbacks. You brought the Giants up earlier. Fuck you, Daniel Jones.
I don't know how
I think you hate him more than I do Kirk Cousins.
I hate the Giants. Period. The quarterback of the Giants to me.
I hate the Giants too.
He's the worst person on the planet.
I think this defense has divided this fan base even more than it already was through the
Bobby
name
McCain can shut the hell up, by the way.
Oh God,
Bobby McCain can get the hell out of here. You don't want people writing about how bad you're playing. How about stop playing bad?
DJ Swearinger Jr.
Yeah.
Bobby McCain. You know what he looks like to me? He looks like Kevin Hart with a double-sized helmet out there. He looks like this little runty guy with a big freaking kazoo helmet on his head.
I mean, not for anyone who takes shots at media, just because I think it's funny.
But that was just dumb.
But bro, are you seriously getting mad because people are writing negative stuff that's true?
The truth.
You can't.
They're telling the truth, and you're mad about that. Good.
You can't put up the points that we have as a defense, and then come out to the media and go, "But we won today." Right about that win, you're thinking, "Hang on a minute, buddy." We're at the moment, it's like supporting two football teams. We're supporting our offense and our defense are a whole nother.
We want them to be better.
We want them to be better. And don't get me wrong. I said something, I done this analogy yesterday. It's like when you get to the weekend, everyone's excited for the weekend, but you look at the weather forecast and it's pouring down with rain. That's how I see our defense. I want us to do well. I want it to be nice and sunny all weekend, but then I know it's going to pour down a la the Washington defense. And I don't know where that's going to, I can't see where that is going to change over the next few weeks. I really can't. And people can start shitting on us on Twitter. You can't say that. It's called being a realist. Like I said at the start of the show, it's being realistic. It's not me going, I love talking about the Washington football team. Do you think I'd be up till 2-3 in the morning if I didn't want this team to win? Would you guys be doing a podcast? Would you be giving up our own time when we're not getting paid to fucking write shit about this team like some of these so-called quote-unquote fucking trash-ass journalists that have got in Washington? There, I said it. I don't give a shit. Some of our Washington journalists are fucking terrible. Yeah, absolutely. They should be ashamed to do the job. I'm not going to name them, but they know who I think it is. But us guys and
your family,
guys an arsehole. Guys an absolute arsehole. But us guys get people come on Twitter and you can't say that. You just want the team to do bad. You're being negative. If it's a toxic, it's called, like Jesse just said, it's being realistic. And we played some trashy teams last year. Now maybe our defense, like I said on our show yesterday, they're kind of riding the coattails from last year. They think all they've got to do is turn up, and they're going to be this. They're going to be this elite 2020 defense. I'm sorry, guys. You're playing the Kansas City Chiefs, the Bucks, the Saints. You're not going to be that unless you really show it what you're capable of.
Keith, let me ask you a question. If you knew how this year was going to turn out before you bought season tickets, would you have bought season tickets?
No.
I'm right there with you. Listen. We bought into what we thought was kind of a going over the hill. Me too. I'm right there with you. I was pissed off. I was almost serious when I put out anybody want the rest of my season tickets yesterday because I was so fucking pissed off. We said last week or on our preview for the Falcons pod, if this team doesn't come out and win handily, things are not going to get better because the Atlanta Falcons isn't a good team. They're not.
No, they're not.
We didn't
The
really,
Falcons, the Saints. It depends on which Jameis shows up.
we didn't
Or which
see
defense shows up.
we did. The defense hadn't shown up all season long. I mean, I don't think anybody can say that it has. But I don't think any of us saw this coming at all.
What, yesterday's game? Or that the defense is so good?
Just the whole entire. Did we think the offense was going to be this good? Did we think the defense was going to be this bad?
Yes.
No.
I don't know that we thought the offense would be this good, and I don't know that I would say this good as if it's really all that good. It's suitable right now, and it's doing better.
We're like 18th.
But we thought we had the fastest offense we've had in 5 or 6 years around here. We knew that we upgraded in practically every position. That's one thing that they failed to do on the defense, because I guess Jack Del Rio sat back and said, this Bostic guy, he's A-okay for me. So I just want to do a quick impression, if I might. This is Jesse going to the grocery store. Okay? Jesse going to the grocery store. What's the point? It's all going to be rotten anyway.
Oh man, so the reason, so Jesse, to really go in a little quick in depth of answering your question there, I say no, only because, to be honest, I wasn't, and again, this is going to go back to Fitzpatrick, not necessarily my views on how I feel he is as a quarterback, but the fact that I know that he wasn't going to be our long-term quarterback. So I felt like I was jumping the gun by getting season tickets in the first place. The reason for the purchase of the season tickets was mainly because, like you said, I did see trending upwards, and what I thought was
we could battle for another NFC East title, that we could.
Correct. And that we were at least going to be competitive. I did not think that we were going to have very many more wins than what we did last season. Right. I figured if we finished at 9, I was good with that. 10 is a plus. Didn't even think 10 was even going to happen. But 9, like I said, there was at least some upside than everything else that came with it. The fan ambassador happened afterwards, then the hog farmers. And so, dude, it was literally like eating cake, cherries, fudge all over the cake. Everything was going right until the season started. And then now
you're never guaranteed anything.
Right.
Football was kind of keeps having such a good time. Football's kind of getting in the way of that. As you're like, and I don't mean that. I don't mean it in a bad way. I see you guys on social media on a Sunday. I'm thinking, right, like you guys have always said, the football's a little part of it. But I'm seeing you guys doing great at the tailgate. You're meeting great people.
Which is the reason for my change in who I am.
Exactly.
As opposed to sitting here by myself every game, watching ourselves lose, have no one around me to at least, drink a beer with and be like, well, that sucked. No, I end up saying that to myself every week, right? And then if we win, I have no one to celebrate with except for to hop on Twitter, So now it's a whole different, aspect where it's also like going to the games has become more than just the actual game. Honestly, the game to me is almost an afterthought, and it's going to get even worse if we continue to lose. But then the battle I'm going to be facing is, do I want to drive 2.5 hours to watch this team lose to teams like the Bucks? Well, I'm going to go to the Bucks game, but honestly, right now, if you were to ask me, hey, Keith, are you going to go to the football team versus the Bucks? Yeah, because I'd like to see Tom Brady before he retires. That's fucking sad. That would be my answer. Are you going to go to the Chiefs game? Well, yeah, because it's early in the season and I'd like to see Mahomes.
Yeah. So you're saying it's a B+.
I'm right there with you. At this point, I feel like I'm going to go for the camaraderie, to hang out with Keith, with the hog farmers, with everybody that we converse with on. I used to have season tickets and I got rid of them because of the fact that why would I come driving 3 hours away just to watch the team lose?
And to finish up real quick, as I know we want to move on, but Andy, just because you're here, and Andy knows I used to give him the tweet team a lot of hell for being rah-rah fans, right? because I never understood. I never understood why they had the mentality that they had, because I was literally here by myself all the time, right? These guys were traveling. They were traveling. They were going to games. They were meeting up with fans, and it became more than just watching a crap football team. It became, like you said, camaraderie, something that I haven't had in years. So now I understand the rah-rah aspect of it. But what I appreciate more out of Andy than anything else is he is one of the most vocal when it comes to this team. And if something negative goes down, Andy ain't letting that shit slide. And I appreciate that, because before I would get onto these guys like, my God, do you guys say anything bad about this team? Or do you just like close your eyes when something bad happens?
Burgundy, some people have burgundy colored glasses.
I'm getting the other side. I'm getting the other side of that now. I'm Keith now. Unfortunately, I don't mean that in a bad way, but I'm at home every Sunday
me now.
No, but I'm at home. I can't travel. I'm at home.
I don't even know who I am anymore.
I'm watching a game on a Sunday on my own in my room, and I'm like, if I see something I don't like, I'm just going to tweet about it, and I don't really care.
I call it like I see it, like I feel it.
What else you can do? You're a fan. That's your whole entire. The people get themselves all worked up into this thing that they're a part of something. No, your whole job is to watch, and if you want to make comments with other fans, go ahead.
Keith's raw. He's with the Hog. Listen, I'm a fan first before any of that shit. And I'm telling you, if my team sucks and there's still a bad product on the field, do you think that I'm really going to root for that just because I'm an ambassador of Hog Farmers? Fuck no, I'm a fan.
We want more. Right. We want more. And
you should never apologize for wanting more.
No, exactly.
Absolutely.
And the fact that I through the past couple of weeks getting so many damn tweets saying, "Oh, you're not a real fan. Why don't you just
welcome to my world."
Well, I get that. I got
to cheer them on. No, I'm not going to cheer them on when they're fucking up. I'm sorry. I'm going to call it like I fucking see it.
As the old guy, I'm going to remind you of the phrase that fixes this. Fuck off. All right. Just these idiots that want to tell me I'm not a real fan. Fuck off. All right. Fuck you. I watched Clint Longley on Thanksgiving. Thank you, motherfuckers. I'm an old guy. I've seen it. I saw the freaking glory, and I've seen the heartbreaks that you people read about in freaking books. So I don't want to hear it if I'm a fake fan, because I happen to see that the freaking linebacker sucks, and I happen to see that they can't cover anybody because they get into these soft ass zones, and goddamn Bobby McCain doesn't know where the fuck to go, and the coaches do stupid shit. Like look, like the touchdown to Cordero Patterson where he caught that little swing and then rolled out and scored in the corner of the end zone, right? That's Landon Collins' man. But where does Landon Collins have to come from? From
across the other side of the field.
Fuck on the other side of the field. They're not being put in the positions to win. And I said it last week. Del Rio and his coaches are coaching scared. They're outthinking themselves rather than trying to outthink the fucking offense, and it's getting on my nerves. Getting on my nerves.
Landon Collins, Bobby McCain, and Kendall Fuller had 100% of the snaps on defense yesterday, and that's with not right. I'll put
terrible.
And
we were
Cam
better
Curl,
with Reeves and Curl.
Yeah, and Cam Curl only had 77 or 78% of the snaps. Curl needs to be on the field 100% of the time.
They're out.
We haven't even got to kicking yet.
Oh, I was just about to hit on that right now. Dustin Hopkins.
You are a bundle of joy, aren't you, Andy?
Dustin, fuck you, Hopkins.
Justin, fuck you.
Why the fuck are you still on the goddamn? Why the hell were you still on the team after that first missed extra fucking point? Okay.
Should I put the Dustin Hopkins method to not get fired again in the show?
Yes.
Right here? Should I just drop it in?
Yes, please do. Yeah, go right ahead.
It still applies.
Listen, a kicker misses an extra point on an average of once a year, just at your average kicker. He missed 2 in a fucking row. And I had
would have tied the game at the end.
Yes. I had some fucking idiots fucking tweet me saying both holds were bad. So I rewound the game. There was nothing wrong with the foul. I want, he was the holds were definitely bad. The holds were just like any other fucking hold I've seen from Trustway.
Yep.
Why is he still on the team? Keith, please tell me.
I have no idea. I have no answer. I almost thought that today we were going to hear that he was getting let go. But again, the I haven't scoured the market to see who's out there, but that would be the rebuttal. Well, who else is out there? I mean, at this point, you might as well just call me. Let me come in. I mean, I might give you a 50-50, but I'll tell you, watching the game yesterday in between putting up the Halloween decorations, I was sitting down at the right times in the right places. And, my man, like when we were driving the ball down, for that game winning score, first thing I said is, God, do not put this in Dustin Hopkins' hands.
I tweeted that shit out too.
McKissick freaking risked life and limb to not put it in his hands.
And listen, and that's why I got so super emotional and excited. And, I was about ready to give Taylor Heineke a Hall of Fame jacket, because
that's not you got to give him a reach around with what you're about to do.
Well,
he was about to give him a
God, guys,
Hall of Fame jacket.
I don't know if you guys are aware of this or not. I don't know if I've told you. I'm a fan ambassador, but I don't get that kind of,
access.
Way.
Oh, well,
Andy,
I guess you're gonna have to work.
Did I tell
harder.
you? Did you know? Is this the first time you're learning?
No, hang on. What?
Andy, what's going on with Dustin Hopkins, man? I know he's your buddy and all.
Bro, I'm with Keith now. I've just given up talking about it, because I saw Ron Rivera's interview and he was like, no, he's still our guy. And I love Ron, but when I hear stuff like that, I think, man, has this guy got naughty pictures of you or something? I don't know. It's just,
gotta have something.
Jesse, to be honest with you, I've given up, because I'm preaching to the choir here, man. It's just, there's no point. The guy's not going anywhere. He's going to be with us all season.
I think we just need to, if we're inside the 50,
we went for the only thing I will say, if you look how many times we scored a touchdown and then went for 2 points, that tells you everything you need to know. And that's coming from Ron Rivera. That tells you everything you need to know. If we're going for 2 points,
he can't trust. If you can't trust your kicker at this juncture, you got to do something. Now, Tuesday is the days that they can work people out, so we're not going to hear anything until tomorrow anyway.
Well, I'm sure he's got
to. At least we hear
it's got to be. We'll hear it when they bring somebody in, and they'll bring in.
Did we bring someone in like a couple of months ago? And I don't know.
Yeah, but he was hurt. Eddie Pinero.
Yeah. Did he get hurt or something? I don't know.
Did he get hurt?
Okay. I wasn't sure what happened to him.
I don't know why he's still on the team. I have no idea what if you cannot trust your kicker, you're fucked, because they have the game on their feet so many times. Yesterday, we could have been tied in the fourth quarter rather than having to make a big comeback with a miracle pass to J.D. McKissick, right? We could have had a tie with 2 fucking extra points. Look, dude, it's not a 55-yard field goal, all right? I mean, yeah, it's not a 2-yard field goal anymore or a 12-yard field goal anymore, but it's your fucking bread and butter. God damn it. We worked down to get a fucking touchdown, put the ball through the uprights. And as far as I'm concerned, he's in breach of contract, and they should fire him right now and sue him for every penny that they've ever paid him. These fucking fans that are so goddamn stuck up his jockstrap.
Tim Meek.
You can't get happy with a kicker. Never get used to your kicker.
Tim Meek is a nice guy.
Good.
Tim Meek is a nice guy.
He is such a homer, though.
Tim's my dude, man, but he knows we disagree on this one.
He loves him
Tim is my dude,
some Dustin Hopkins. I just don't get it.
I got to be careful too, because his wife supports the hog farmers. Charity behind. No. I know.
Tim's a great guy. Tim's a great guy.
At the end of the day, like,
I doubt
this is what I explained is, if you play bad, I have a podcast. I'm allowed to talk about it. I don't care who supports what. It's just, it is what it is.
That hog farmer guy doesn't like Dustin Hopkins. So fuck those kids with cancer. I'm not giving them any more money.
I don't think that's what's
Tim's a great guy. He's a homer. He has
a good dude, man.
He really is. But come on, buddy. Got to get off the Dustin Hopkins.
I think he's kind of at the point now in his life, and he's tried to explain this to me. And I did listen, actually. He's like, do you know what, Andy? Don't let it bother you, man. But it's hard. Like Keith said, I'm at home on my own every Sunday, like watching a game, and you just get frustrated. And you're like, come on, man. I just want to see us win a game. I want to see us win. We want to win. Don't get me wrong. Yeah, and everyone's saying, yeah, we did win yesterday, but my God, it's going to come maybe this Sunday. Maybe we could play. I tell you what could happen. We could go up against the Bucks or the Chiefs, play the game of our life, and be 5 seconds left on the clock, and we need a field goal to win it. And all of us to a man are going to go, oh, shit.
That's right. Even the women. Look, I'll tell you what. I was going to say something, and I totally forgot. Keith, what do you got?
Okay. let's move on.
I'm gonna give John his medication.
Over to you,
Hey,
Keith.
listen, I'm about to tell you something really good here. I just don't remember it, so I'm going to go ahead and pass the torch.
All right, game balls and goat nuts. All right, listen. John, I'm going to start with you. Who's your game balls go to?
My game ball goes to Terry McLaurin. He gets my game ball. The dude had a whale of a game, and that second touchdown pass of his, he freaking bailed us out of that.
Oh yeah,
So great,
yeah.
Great play.
I think he there's some debate on whether he was a top 10 receiver earlier this year. He's definitely in that top 10 now. I think he's within the next year or two, he's going to be considered elite. I think he's that good. He's such a man. I want my daughter to marry someone like Terry McLaurin because he's such a good guy too. You'll never see him be like a diva. You're never going to see him get upset on the sidelines and like demand for the ball. He's just an all around good dude, and he's a hell of a fucking football player. Andy, game ball.
JD McKissick for me. Really impressed with the way he stepped up. Really impressed. Doesn't get nearly enough credit as he deserves for this football team.
He's a great change of pace back. Isn't he?
Yeah,
Yes,
and he can turn on them jets. You only have to see for that touchdown. Don't get me wrong, Terry. Of course, that's a standard every week.
Absolutely.
For me, JD McKissick, Jesse. I thought the guy he's coming out of his shell more and more every game.
Yeah, our running back room, I think, is probably top 6 or 7 in the league overall,
talent wise.
Yeah, I think even Jared Patterson hasn't shown much this year yet. I don't think we're going to get. I don't. Yeah, absolutely. I don't think we're going to get a whole lot out of him this year. But I think as he develops too, watch out. I think we'll have a 3-headed monster on our hands.
And DeAndre Carter.
That's where my game ball was going to go to is DeAndre.
Who loves DeAndre Carter?
I love that dude.
First time I saw him return a punt on preseason. Boy, I like that guy.
Keith, before I talk about Carter, who's your game ball go to?
Yeah, so this actually worked out perfect because there's game balls that could have went to a lot of guys yesterday. I mean, Taylor could get one too.
What did John Bostic to keep him company? Thanks for missing the rest of the season, buddy.
Oh god.
Oh, so I'm going to kind of take one ball. I'm going to divide it up a little bit. And I'm going to give it to the entire offensive line because they've been our biggest bright spot, not just this game, but this whole season. And there's been improvement. So if you told me, no, Keith, you got to give it to one guy, I'm going to go ahead and hand that ball over to Charles Leno, man, because he's definitely improved from the first game of the season. And listen, if the offensive line, this is why I'm giving it to the offensive line. Yes, they've played well, no sacks, so on and so on. But more importantly, on that last play of the game, tell me, how did we not get a penalty with a player down the field that shouldn't
downfield?
Yep. And that's because that's because this offensive line is disciplined. Yes. That's why. And that's why they get my game ball, because they allowed that play to happen. The announcer said it when Heineke had the ball. He's like, oh, he's got all day to throw. I mean, you don't hear that.
Last week he had all day to throw too against the Bills, and that's a damn good defensive front.
Yeah, he did. But if it was not the offensive line, that play would have never happened.
Yeah. Look, I'm 100% with you. You've seen the offensive line from week one. Each week they've gotten better and better and better. And this is key, especially with Taylor Heineke under center. We know how small Taylor Heineke is, and a big hit can take him out. Okay.
Yeah.
Speaking of Taylor Heineke under center, the next time it's 4th down and fucking 1, that's where he needs to goddamn be.
Yes.
Back to you.
Fucking yes.
No more shot.
Although it'll be interesting.
I've never understood it.
Next week will be interesting now that we know that Scherf is out, 2 to 3 weeks.
I think Wes Schweitzer will be. Listen, I
hope he does, because Brandon can kick rocks as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah, I don't think Brandon is as good as that all pro, and I'm putting that in quotes because he shouldn't have been all pro. That belonged to somebody else, because he's not the best guard in the damn league, or he wasn't.
Was it someone said? Why is it someone once said? It's just a big dude.
Again, guy just wants elite money. I think this goes back to the Kirk Cousins. Guy wants elite money, but can't stay on the field, can't produce, can't
100%.
And if you can't be on, goodbye. And maybe
Yeah,
that's a
that's a good
terrible
point now.
comparison
Very
when I
good
say
point.
Kirk Cousins, because
No,
Kirk Cousins can produce.
He's
What is
talking
with
that
Kirk
talk,
Cousins
man.
today? Fuck
Because
Kirk
I
Cousins.
just, I don't know, man. I don't know. Maybe
He's
I
the
was
Vikings quarterback. Fuck him.
wrong. No, because Jesse attacked
I
for
think-
RG3, and I have nowhere else to go.
I think Wes Schweitzer's is going to do just fine. He played well last year.
He's a baller.
He's a huge motherfucker, man.
I think if they tried to blitz with a pickup truck, he could block it.
Yeah. Like I said earlier, my game ball goes to DeAndre Carter, man. You had a feeling all year long that he was just going to break one. And
Oh yeah, that's
you know what's
only
funny?
the first one.
Have y'all noticed when he isn't able to field a kick or isn't able to return a
He's
kick?
upset.
How fucking he like pouts and he like looks
Yeah,
down and
he's
he's like
upset.
walking back. He wants that ball and he wants to get it to go. And it's funny. I look at my son. I'm like, that's you when you don't get what you fucking want. God damn it. And
Look,
Taylor
go
does
back
the
to our
same
show
thing,
right
man.
after our first preseason game. He's who I gave my game ball to. I said, look, man, we finally got
Yeah.
somebody that knows how to go someplace.
You
And he
did.
does.
sticks his
First
foot
step goes
in the
forward.
turf and go.
That's right.
He goes, man.
That's right.
Yeah,
Love it,
and I agree. I don't think this is good. That's not going to be the only one this season. I think he's going to return. He had a crucial catch in this game too.
Yes, he did.
I think it was his first reception of the season as well. And yeah, man, I'm definitely stoked about DeAndre Carter. I think that was
You know
an
who
excellent
can't
pickup.
catch? Kirk Cousins.
We've heard about
That's
that.
one thing that he can't do. Okay. All right. Now let's move to the goat nuts, and there's plenty of balls, nice juicy
Give it to
Rocky
Kirk
Mountain
Cousins.
oysters to go around. Andy, I want to start with you. Who does your goat nut sack go to?
Nutsack, Kendall Fuller.
Okay.
Took mine.
Yeah, sorry, yeah, Fuller. I
mean,
just think,
Take a number on
Yeah.
the defense, man.
and that's the
you know.
problem. I mean, it's going to be someone on it. You could give it to the whole of the defense. I mean, maybe not Cole Holcomb. That's probably being harsh on Cole,
Yesterday,
but
at least.
yesterday at least. But yeah, Fuller, Collins haven't been that. I'd say Fuller, but you can literally give it to bloody anyone in this whole defense. They all need a wake up call. They all need to get like a rocket up their ass. So I'll choose one, but if I could, I'd give it to all of them.
Sure.
I think that would be fine halftime entertainment next week is to stick a
Rocket up
rocket
their
up
ass.
one of the defensive's asses. Yeah.
But at halftime on seasons gone by, Washington used to either be really shit or come out and be really good. Now we're just really shit for the whole game.
It does. Yeah. The adjustments aren't.
We'll be better in the
being
first
made.
half. We have been. So
Maybe get the ball would be nice.
Keith, who does your goat ball go to?
Well, I was going to go Kendall Fuller, but now I'm just going to go with the obvious and say Dustin Hopkins.
Sure. No doubt.
Yeah.
I mean, he'd probably
Dustin
deserves one pretty much every week for like the next 5 seasons.
Since London.
John, what about you?
I'm giving it to Bobby McCain.
Damn,
Dude,
you
you
took
stink.
mine.
You're out of position all the goddamn time, and you run your mouth like people aren't allowed to point it out and say, "Look at this dude. He doesn't know what he's doing." I'm telling you, you outsmart yourself. Last year, when our defense was playing well, whether it was a mirage or not, we had Curl and Reeves back there.
Yeah.
They just decided that let's rethink how the success was and change all the pieces out. Bobby McCain, I've had it. Just shut up. Show me.
You could you give it to anybody, but McCain's going to get the double tea bag of Rocky Mountain oysters. He
Double tea bag. Something I never thought we'd do.
He's just been awful. When we got him, I thought he was going to be a good pickup because he was a true center fielder. And it just this hasn't worked out whatsoever.
I didn't realize he was 5'2".
He is kind of small. That's for sure.
I'm
And it looks
telling
like
you, it
he's
looks
afraid of contact as well. I don't know if you guys have noticed that, but he does look afraid of hitting somebody.
Yeah.
I don't know if you guys know this, but in order to win, your team has to score more points than the other
heard.
team.
I have
Okay.
heard.
Somebody
heard
told
that.
me that
Someone's told me that once.
at some point in time. I kind of forgot. Thanks for refreshing our memories. there.
Absolutely.
Maybe tell our defensive coordinator that points from that side of the ball are not so good.
That's what I mean.
That's fair. John, I'm going to give it over to you. Tell us,
Okay.
take us around the NFL and how do we do yesterday?
Around the NFL. Well, I tell you what, Keith is commanding lead at this point. He's got 26 points. I think you got 14 of them right, 12 of them right yesterday. I got 11 of them right because I take chances on a couple of things here and
No,
there.
you didn't. You didn't take chances. You went against me so you could try to catch up.
No, I took chances on a couple of them. I took a
Okay.
couple of chances on a couple of them. Like I picked
How
the
many
Broncos.
did Keith get right last or yesterday?
He got 12 right yesterday, and he got 17 right. No, that's not possible.
14
He got
right.
15 right. So he got 14 right the week before. Jesse, you are sitting at 24 total for the year. You had 13 right yesterday. All three of us picked the Chiefs, and that was fun to watch. Although I really got to ask, does fucking Patrick Mahomes really have to throw the ball like he's a softball pitcher? Does that really have to be thrown that way?
Yeah.
The motherfucker's just like, hey, let's get on ESPN.
Yeah, no shit. He's just
Right,
showing
let's
the
get
fuck
on the
off.
highlights.
That's all he's doing.
Right. The fucking Giants won. We all picked against them. We all picked the Saints. This is why I feel pretty good about the Saints next week. You know what? The Giants. Fuck you, Daniel Jones. You won your first fucking game. I was really hoping to watch the Giants lose so I could see John Mara, I don't know, tip over a stack of cups or something.
I think we all. I think
you
we
see
all
last
picked the
week-
Lions.
We did. We all picked the Lions. Except, we all picked the Lions. I should include you in on this guy down there in the corner.
And
The English guy. Bloody foreigners coming over here taking our job.
All right. So, was anybody surprised by the outcome of the Cowboys game? Was there anything in the Panthers that surprised you? Darnold played better than you thought.
Darnold playing well.
He's not playing bad. I didn't like get to watch. I turned to Red Zone a little bit. I was at my parents' house, so I didn't have my double TVs like I usually do. But you know, when they flipped to during the games, you know, he had what, 2 rushing touchdowns?
2 rushing.
2, yeah.
Yeah.
So, he's got 5. I think he leads the league in rushing touchdowns.
Yeah,
He does.
yeah.
He leads the league.
So who
Hey,
knows?
lights out.
Big square-headed motherfucker.
We'll see. I still don't think Dallas's defense is very good. So, I mean, they still lost.
Yeah. Then they got smoked. That
Yeah.
defense that was so vaunted against a couple of rookie quarterbacks.
True.
You know, they gave up
True.
38 against the Cowboys. So I think the Cowboys are a legit football team.
Yeah.
All right, we all picked the
they're
Bills.
going to shoot themselves in the foot in the playoffs like we do every year, though.
If they even make it, they'll shoot themselves in the foot somehow before that. God damn it. Let me tell you something.
I don't know. They
If
got
you
that.
shoot yourself in the foot before week 10, then I can't sell as many hoodies. So you get out there and you do your best all the way up through Thanksgiving. Give them something to hope for Christmas shopping. Go Cowboys.
Bills won 45-0.
45-0.
That was a fucking.
Was it 45? I thought it was 40-0.
I think it is 40-0.
Oh,
Anyway,
was it
they covered
40-0?
the 17 points. They covered the 17
I
points.
mean, it's
twice.
no difference, to be honest. I mean, 40-45. It's still.
Yeah, they double covered. That's crazy. I'm glad. I almost
picked them in my
against
money
them.
league.
I almost, because we have a pool at work, and it's against the spread, and I almost went against the Bills. I'm glad I didn't.
All right. So, Andy, how can the Texans fuck things up this week?
Who they playing this week?
It doesn't matter. They'll find some fucking
They'll find
The Patriots.
To be
They'll
honest,
fuck something up.
I used to mock that. I remember Keith used to say I didn't watch a lot of football outside Washington. I've hardly watched any. As soon as the Washington game finishes, I'm either recording podcast 1742 or
Right. Of the day.
or of the day, or I'm just going to bed because I'm not watching much football after Washington.
Yeah, I don't blame you.
So I'm just
That time difference is crazy.
Oh,
How
Jesus,
does it work
it's
for you
killing me.
guys over there? I mean, I know you get so how do you get the Washington game every week? Do you guys have some kind of?
I have NFL league. I have NFL league pass.
So you can watch all of them.
I pay £172 for the season.
Okay,
Which is about
so
$180.
and
then
they probably make out.
But
I
Sky
drop
Sports,
225 pounds on my wife every night.
That's just a tip. I am Sky Sports. Sky Sports. I forgot what I'm saying now.
All right, Sky Sports.
Gentlemen, this
Sports.
is a professional podcast.
Dude, you made an analogy to Pornhub last week. Shut up. Professional podcast. He was trying to be serious too. I'll tell you about our quarterback situation. If Pornhub wanted me to do a video. So you were saying, I was asking you a question. So,
yeah, we have most of the content that you guys get. We have Sky Sports have most of the games on there.
Do you have something like Red
the
Zone?
same. Yeah, we have Red Zone. We have the same
Oh,
Red
okay.
Zone as you guys do. We have exactly the same. We have a channel called Sky NFL. Red Zone's on that all day. They have all the games. But I buy the league pass so I can watch every single Washington game. I may have a Fire Stick with some illegal TV channels on there, so I get to watch, I get to watch NBC Washington, and I get to watch everything like that Washington, everything that's Washington. I watch it. So yeah,
that's cool.
That's how basically I basically live my life on American TV during the football season. So yeah, I keep up to date with everything. I don't miss nothing. Literally, if it's about Washington, I'm watching it.
That's cool. So the Bears went in and won a football game, and I believe that they finally got to a point in the game where they didn't give up any sacks. I think they gave up 9 sacks yesterday. The Lions, you people really need to go outside and have a good talk to with yourselves, because you are following a clown of a coach that just has a bunch of cliches. You know what his halftime speech was? Let's get some pancakes.
Did his eye do that twitch too?
Yes. I mean,
He's having a stroke or something.
They've got a quarterback that I guess is not as good as Matthew Stafford, but he's not, as bad as this, I guess. He's getting whomped around. And then the Bears will go again today. They've won. Justin Fields wins the game, right? Their fans are all happy as shit about that. And the coach immediately comes out and says, well, Andy Dalton.
Blaming me.
That's right. Andy Burrows is starting next week for the Chicago Bears. Get it while it's
I'll give it a go.
Sure, why not? You can't do any worse than Andy Dalton's going to do.
Probably do a kicker in the Washington football team.
So, all right, the Browns and the Vikings. That was a weird ass game.
It was.
Jesse and I picked the Browns, and Keith, you picked the Vikings because of your lust for
a closet Kirk Cousins lover.
Oh, Kirk.
That idiot let me down again.
You look so good in purple.
Yeah, that was a weird game. It was like 17-7 or something like that.
Yeah, they should.
It was 14-7.
Oh, 14-7.
It's like a first quarter score. Yeah. And it was a weird way that they got there. They had a safety. It wasn't 2 touchdowns to get to 14. They got there.
I know. I saw it was like
11
11-7 at one point or something like that.
Weird game. I don't know why it was so weird. I didn't watch even a minute of it, but Keith, you lost on that one. So,
yeah, thank you.
All right, the Titans 6.5 points to the Jets. What the fuck happened to the Titans in New York?
I don't know, man. I don't know. I watched that after the Skins game, and that was nuts.
Didn't they have? Isn't it? They had what?
Jets
Julio
have
Jones
a good.
Out?
Yeah, Julio Jones and AJ Brown was out, but you just run Derrick Henry.
They did. He ran for like 156 yards, and they
still lost. Shit.
Yes, I couldn't believe it. Zach Wilson was out there freaking running plays like he was Joe Montana and shit.
He's got a fucking cannon for an arm.
He is.
He now talk about arm strength. That motherfucker can throw the ball.
Yeah. He's got a nice freaking a delivery as well. He looks like I said, he looks like Joe Montana out there when he's winning. Other than that, but yeah, that's a weird one right there. The Jets winning that, so we all lost that. The Colts and the Dolphins. I picked the Dolphins at home in Jacoby Brissett's freaking revenge game against the Colts. What the fuck was I smoking?
Yeah, you're like, Vegas knows something. Oh, Vegas knows something.
Well, I mean, you'd think that the Colts favorite at home is not that big of a deal. I mean, excuse me, the Dolphins favorite at home is not that big of a deal. The Colts are not good.
No,
right?
They're not.
They're not good.
Obviously, the Dolphins aren't good either because they did just get their ass whipped by the Bills 35-0 last week.
Well, yeah, but I mean, we knew that. They're not going to hang with that, but I figured they could beat the fucking Colts at home. Jesus Christ. All right, the Rams, they got beat. We all picked the Rams. Cardinals.
Tell you what, NFC West, that is the best division in football, top to bottom, and I think every one of them teams are going to the playoffs.
Kyler Murray, before the game, he fell into drainage grading. Right before the game, in the locker room, there was a little, one of those freaking gradings about this thing. So they had to get the maintenance man in there to get him out before the game. Seahawks knocked the shit out of the 49ers. We all picked that. When the Ravens pick 'em, it was a pick 'em game against the Broncos, and I don't even think it looked like it was close. The
I don't
Ravens
know why, and that's what I was saying about the Broncos.
They were buying
man.
in the Broncos.
They were.
I bought the
The Broncos have played shit teams up until now. So
I don't think the Ravens are all that good.
I still think they have a good defense, but I ain't sold on their offense, and I'm not sold on Bridgewater.
All right. Well, I'm going to do a real quick impression of Vic Fangio when the Ravens ran 4 yards at the end of the game so that they could secure their streak.
God darn it, those frickin' kids. God doggone donkey. God dang doggone.
You know what?
Sounded just like him.
Shut
Let me
up.
tell you what.
I know. Let me tell you something.
Get these kids off of my goddamn lawn. This is my stadium.
All right.
I didn't know he really sounds like that.
Well, of course he does. I've been working on that one, buddy. All right, the Steelers.
God damn it.
That's how he calls plays, and that's why Teddy Bridgewater's like, what the? They think it's loud in there. He's in there going,
Yankees, come here. Do that thing over there.
Work on your
All right.
Kermit the Frog impression for when we play the Chiefs.
okay.
There's Pat Mahomes all day.
All right, we're going to run this one, and I'm going to throw it underhand like a softball pitcher. Watch this. This is going to get us a lot of highlights.
You know what he's going to do? He's going to do under the leg, behind the back, under the leg, and
Right.
he's right over Holcomb's head, probably.
And not even be touched.
Yeah.
Bobby McCain will be like,
And
see my helmet
McCain will be 30 yards away.
Chase will run right by him, unblocked.
Tyreek Hill is going to
Go around him.
Yeah.
McCain's helmet's going to spin around. It's going to be like the freaking coyote when the Roadrunner goes past him on the street.
Some of our plays, it looks like a fucking cartoon out there. It's
Dude,
it's
if
a
I had
joke
time
at
to make a
times.
cartoon, that's what I would do. I would do the Washington defensive game plan against the Chiefs, and I'd do a bunch of Wile E. Coyote jokes like we put rocket skates on or
Yeah.
some stupid shit like that. All right, so the Steelers look completely inept. The
Oh.
Packers beat the hell out of them.
Ben Roethlisberger's done.
Done. Yeah, he's done.
Retire.
You know,
Call it quits.
they tell me I shouldn't have come back this year. They're saying I look like an inept old man out there, and I tell them, look, it's very difficult to play in an absorbent undergarment. You know, I don't have as much mobility as I used to have, but I don't want to pee on myself during the game.
All right, so
Packers are
we all
good.
got that one right. Packers
Aaron
are pretty
Jones
good.
is fucking phenomenal, man. Oh God,
He has
he's
been
so
for
good.
several years. The Buccaneers, we all picked them to blow out the freaking Patriots. Goddamn fucking TV still won't stop about this goddamn game.
You know, Tom was in Boston yesterday. Let me tell you all about Tom in Boston.
Oh,
Fuck
you know
off
how many
about
times
Tom
I heard Bill Belichick was in the Bucks locker room after the game for 20 minutes, giving Brady a hand job. They were talking about that
Hurry
all
up,
fucking
Tom.
day.
Great
Come
job,
on, Tom. Really?
Great job, Tom.
Listen, I brought the Jergens. Let's go behind the lockers.
Miss you, Tom.
I know you like it this way, Tom. So I'll just
Is
reach
that-
down,
who's playing tonight?
give your anus a tickle. All right, we got the Raiders and the Chargers tonight.
That's right. That's gonna be
I
a
took
good
the
game.
Raiders. You two guys took the Chargers. So I have a chance to catch up at least one if the Raiders win tonight.
That's
And
true.
we've
I'm
got
not so
something else
confident in
going
that
on.
Pick.
In Andy Burrows, in your
Yes,
fantasy
sir.
football league, Jesse and I are playing one another. Jesse's
You
got
are.
a rather comfortable lead with me, but not an insurmountable one. You've got Darren Waller going, and I
Sure.
have Mike Williams going. So I'm hoping Darren Waller steps in a gopher hole or something, and misses the game. That'll be helpful.
Yeah,
So it
it's
looks like you're
not
probably going to beat me.
Sorry
All right,
about
and
that.
we all three of us picked the Washington football team because we're just homers that never say anything.
Jesse actually originally picked the Falcons.
I almost picked the Falcons. You're
It
right.
was my expert
Really?
analysis that got him to change his mind. He just doesn't want to admit it.
Jesse's probably sad when he gets out of bed because it's not raining. God damn it! I thought it was going to be raining.
Oh, I love rainy days because I ain't got to do shit at work.
I don't know
All right.
why I'm going to bother to turn on the light. I'm just not going to like what I see.
Lights are so overrated.
Y'all have anything else?
I think that's about enough. You got anything left there? Andy, when's the next podcast you got coming out?
every day this week.
I kid every
Tomorrow?
day, every in about 20 minutes.
There you
go. Wednesday, I think. Yeah, Wednesday. Renee Washington's coming on to.
Wait,
You should
Chop it
do a
up,
solo
chop it up.
podcast during the day called Andy Stays Awake in the Truck. Like just
Yeah,
a
okay.
20-minute show every third hour. So
Yeah.
Andy's staying awake in the truck.
I thought
Yeah.
about reaching out to her. That's a good guess. I thought about reaching out to her.
She's
to
hard.
see if
Yeah,
she-
you have to. She has like this website. You have to go on, log in a time that you want to book her because she's so busy. I mean,
Yeah.
it's not hard work, but yeah, you have to. I heard her on the Burgundy Zone. She was really good.
We don't really do like professional guests.
That's why I'm here. Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
We can talk to anybody you want.
Yeah, we leave that to you guys. Like, fuck it.
Oh, you can.
And then it's
pick a
like when
name.
all the podcasts, and this is no offense to you, but like as soon as like someone sees this guest on one podcast, everybody's emailing, would you like to come on mine?
Yeah.
Would you-
Yeah, I booked.
Yeah.
I booked her like. This has been in the making for I don't know 3 months now. But as soon as she
Yeah.
joined the Washington football team, she's like, "Look, I'm really busy. If you fill in this little form, I'll send you book a time." I was like, "Okay." So yeah, I just booked a time. She seems really nice.
Yeah, she's super cool. I actually found out a couple days ago that she lives in Marlton, New Jersey, which is literally like a town over from me. But she covered high school football.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, for the area. So she definitely knew what I was talking about when I was, telling her about Carter and
carpool to
sports
the
that he's
games.
in.
Yeah, I'm looking.
Absolutely, I'm sure she would
there you
love
go.
that.
There you go.
I'm looking
There
forward
you
to
go.
speaking to her. But before I go, I have a quick funny
She
keep
doesn't
story.
mind driving down the road and a freaking guy in a clown.
I have a funny keep story.
Oh,
I
definitely.
obviously
Oh,
listen to you guys mainly because when you drop your show, I'm literally just going to bed. So I listen to the podcast and then I go to sleep. But if you listen on Apple Podcasts, so after your show finishes and if you nod off, it just keeps going on a loop. So last week's show will play the previous. So it was about 5:30 in the morning and I completely forgot where I was. The wife's there, I'm there, and I'm thinking, I can hear Keith. I'm thinking, why the fuck can I hear Keith Gray at 5:30 in the morning? And it
Right,
freaks
talking about his porn.
it, yeah, it freaks me out. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, checking I haven't got a little morning.
What am I
snippet. I'm
dreaming?
Like,
The
it's
white
5:30, yeah.
Sasquatch. What?
The wife's like, what are you going on about? I'm like, I can hear Keith. And I'm like, oh my God, I've just left my phone on. The podcast is still on. I thought I'd lost my shit.
Oh, Lord.
I thought I'd lost my mind. This what's going on in this show these days.
We got Andy dreaming about Keith.
Yeah, man.
I am definitely, now that I know this, I am going to make a subliminal track to lay in underneath the podcast.
Yeah.
Just to play with Andy.
Here,
Yeah.
for all of Andy's sleeping needs. Go to sleep, Andy. Go to sleep. Mwah, Andy. Good night, sir.
And don't forget to go to the hogfarmerscharity.org.
Hogfarmerscharity.org.
I'm glad you guys remember that.
Anybody or anything helps. Look under those couch cushions. These guys, they do phenomenal work for kids with pediatric cancer. If you are going to the game next week, come stop by and say hi to Keith. And the Hog Farmers are always in the red zone lot, hanging out, more than willing to talk. They are all great guys. I'll be out there just shooting the shit with them with my son in the morning, getting ready for the Saints. But stop by, say hi, give what you can, and help these kids out, man, for real.
Shout out to all the people that have chimed in and donated to the Halloween thing that we're currently doing right now, where we're going to set up some goodie bags and send them off to the kids who can't go trick-or-treating. So once again, Washington fan base on Twitter came together and, was just tossing money left and right. So once again, everybody coming through and, just that alone, just those are feel goods,
Yeah,
because,
absolutely.
we wish these kids could get out there and, physically go trick-or-treating, and it sucks that it's being, that's been taken away from them. So this was a nice little gesture that, Chris came up with again. And again, shout out to everyone, man. Everyone who, even if you're not donating, just everyone who's supporting them. I mean,
Yeah.
I personally couldn't be thankful.
One thing that I will
Enough.
say, as much division that goes on in the Washington fan base, especially on Twitter, one thing that does bring a lot of fans together is the Hog Farmers themselves.
Podcasts do too.
Yeah. True.
Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off.
No, you're right. You're absolutely right. But but yeah, like I said, these guys are awesome. They do a lot of hard work. You wouldn't even believe the behind the scenes stuff that they do, and put a smile on a kid's face, man. Like he said, not all of them are able to go out trick or treating, and so these little goodie bags will put somewhat of a smile on their face, to try to bring something to them because they can't go out and do it.
Yeah, we can't wait to get a bunch of pictures, back from the families too, because we want, all the donors, everyone who supported the hog farmers, even if you couldn't support, this cause alone, but you have in the past. You're just, we want everyone to see where their money is going, and the smiles that are being put on the face, because at the end of the day, that was the whole point of this charity to begin with.
You can check us out on any podcast platform. Check us out on YouTube. You can reach John at Bang Radio Hour on Twitter. You can, Andy, you changed your Twitter handle, which I'm still upset about.
How did you do that?
I'm still upset.
Everyone was. I know.
You have to do it on a computer.
Yeah, at Washington UK fan now. I'm sorry, the FC fuck thing has gone. Yeah, but at Washington FC UK
looks much
fan.
Better.
Yeah, you can find us on. I'm with Jesse. We're on YouTube for some stupid fucking reason. I think that's a complete waste of fucking time. But yeah, go and check out the DC Tweet Team on podcast. Everyone told me, Andy, you need to be on YouTube. What, for 88?
Yeah, see, I disagree with that, man. I listen to podcasts
and up till 2 a.m. last night trying to audio. I mean, you watch our YouTube shows. I don't even edit anymore. Just let the Zoom pop up. We hit record and go, because but everyone apparently that's the way forward. So yeah, the DC Tweet Team are on YouTube. DC Tweet Team podcast. Go and be our 89th subscriber.
So I'm gonna say, because I know we're trying to close out, but I'm gonna say something to that. I was, when we talked about we got to get our viewers up for YouTube, it's the way to go. It's the way to go. It's the way to go if you're willing to get into some podcast groups that don't even have anything to do with the Washington football team. I'm starting to learn the reason why a lot of people have a lot of subscribers, and it ain't because of the fan base on Twitter that's subscribing. It's just you have a bunch of random ass podcasters all over the United States, thousands of them. Yeah, that's all it is. It's all it is. People are not subscribing because they like your content. So I agree with you 100%. It sucks because I think that we put out content and John puts a lot of work into the graphics, and we do funny things to not be seen, that it sucks that when we're on Twitter, we actually have to put our teasers out there with the funny things that we're doing just to get people to laugh at that, because we know that the traffic is not going to YouTube.
Yeah.
So,
look,
yes, I love the fact that people, I wish people would go to YouTube and look at us, because I think we're funnier than when you're listening to us, but it's
that cartoon that I did of Trent Williams trapped in the basement of the Redskins,
which was hilarious.
Right. It kicked ass across Twitter, right? Kicked ass across Twitter. The YouTube of all of my cartoons, they do okay, but there's a guy who will drink an entire 2-liter of Mountain Dew. He weighs about 600 pounds. He'll drink a whole 2-liter of Mountain Dew and stuff an entire quarter pounder with cheese in his mouth, and he gets 380,000 views in 24 hours. So this is what you're competing with. It's the way I look at any of what we do. We're doing this for ourselves. We're enjoying ourselves, having a good time doing this. It's a hobby that we like. If people want to like it with us and enjoy it, that's great. We're going to do stuff to try to entertain you and make you have some fun, At least our show is. I don't know what Andy's doing.
I'm with Jesse. I'm the audio I listen to.
Right. 99% of people do.
99% of the times I'm in the lorry at work.
Yeah, I don't have time. When I'm at home, I got other stuff to do. I don't have time to sit and watch a YouTube video. I'd listen to podcasts.
Same.
At work. I have my Bluetooth in. I'm working. I got a podcast.
Today, my phone was not up. Right. When I had to run into the office today and do some shit in the car, I had to listen to the fucking radio, whatever this guy is that comes in after Kevin Sheehan with, hey, let's get another caller that's going to be completely unintelligible and make a stupid fucking point. It's a wasteland. It's a wasteland. So find the podcast you like and listen to it. And if you don't like this one, join the Daniel Jones Club.
I'm going to start getting to the point where I'm going to say, don't retweet me unless you tell me why you're retweeting me, because, you can put it out there, but if you're not explaining to people why you're retweeting, why you're endorsing our podcast, it does no good. So that's why I don't, no offense to all the others, but that's why I don't retweet, because I can't listen to every single one of their podcasts. So I'm not going to just retweet. What do I know if I'm retweeting? What if they said some dumb shit that I'm like, I don't agree with? Kirk Cousins sucks. Why would I retweet you?
I think all of you should tell us how awesome we are all week long.
Absolutely. Like, praise us, man. We're funny. I don't care what anyone says.
We
Fuck
try.
'em.
And I'm just funny looking. All right, guys, that's all the time we have for today. We will be back on Friday to preview the New Orleans Saints.
Good night,
Fun
Andy.
game. Hail
Good night, guys.
to the
Thanks for coming on,
motherfucking
Andy.
team. Yeah, thanks, Andy. We appreciate it, buddy.